Right now, we're going to talk to Ross Clark, columnist at The Sun. He's got a big column in the paper today, of course, which is all about inflation, which apparently is stuck at 3.8%. That's what we were told yesterday, although I said I'm not sure I buy that. And in fact, what Ross Clark is saying is price rises on food inflation are kicking off, and taxes are coming in faster than you could say Jack Robinson, and faster than anything that ever happened in the 1970s, and faster than you can say Jim Callaghan. Ross, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Incoming tax is the headline, and Rachel Reeves, who's hosting a business summit today, we believe, with various American entrepreneurs, is having a terrible time, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. The economic news just gets worse and worse for her. We've had inflation to 3.8%. It was steady in August, but, that's nearly twice the Bank of England's target rate. The food prices, as you mentioned, up 5.1%.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons for that is because of the employers' national insurance contributions, which she jacked up in the last budget, have increased the costs for supermarkets, food producers, and so on. It's hit particularly hard businesses which employ a lot of part-time staff, because you brought down the threshold from national insurance from 9,000 a year to 5,000 a year, and of course that feeds through into costs of producing, costs of selling food, and it hits us all in the pocket in the end.
Well, this is the thing, and we've been hearing from people this morning, apropos of nothing in particular, but a couple of people started ringing in and telling us that they've just been made redundant, that they've been told that there's no pay rises coming if they've still got a job, and people just saying we don't even know whether we can make any plans for sort of the near future or even the distant future. People saying we're not sure if we can change over our car, we're not sure if we can get a new washing machine, we don't know if we can book a holiday. People are very uncertain, feeling very kind of nervous about the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, job creation was actually quite strong before Labour came to power, and then we had this increase in national insurance, and that has led to a reduction of 140,000 payrolled positions. And Labour came to power, promising to ban 0 hours contract, make employment more secure and so on. It's completely achieved the opposite, because rather than employ people on the payroll, companies are sort of forced to rely more on casual staff, people in freelance positions and so on, because they're not then struck by the national insurance rise.
Another interesting stat that I saw today, and you put it in your piece as well, is according to the Resolution Foundation, average household incomes should now stand at about 51,000, but because of the way that the economy has been handled, they now sit at 31,000. So people are actually £20,000 worse off than they should be.
Yeah, well, this is Labour's favourite think tank, no less, formerly run by Torsten Bell, who's now a Treasury and Pensions Minister. And what they did is they looked at the growth in household incomes between 1995 and 2005, and they said what would have happened if, household incomes had carried on increasing at that trend rate, and they came to the conclusion that average household would now have sort of £51,000 a year in income, whereas in fact we only have 31,000. So I mean, it's a sort of huge gap. We're paying the price of becoming a low growth economy. And I mean, to be fair to Rachel Reeves and Labour, the last 20 years where the Tories were in power for a lot of that time, I mean, neither party has exactly excelled themselves on the economy in the last 2 decades.
No, and they've literally put everything on the never, haven't they? They've just borrowed and borrowed and borrowed, and COVID didn't help. And now we're sort of, the chickens are coming home to roost.
Well, they are, and no government of either colour has balanced the books since 2001, 2002. We've had 23 years of consecutive deficits. And you remember Gordon Brown came to power in the late 1990s, and he said, we're going to balance the books across the economic cycle. We might borrow during the bad times, but we'll repay debt during the good times. He stuck to that for the first sort of 3 years, and then he completely lost control, and was running big deficits even when the economy was growing strongly. And well, if you do that, then when you get inevitable recession, as we did 2008, 2009, then you are in serious trouble. I mean, the Tories started well, the coalition rather started well in trying to get the public finances back on track. But then after about 2015, the Tories then lost their discipline, and then we had COVID, and so we're back to an even worse situation now than we were in 2008, 2009, and frankly, the country is heading for bankruptcy.
Yeah, I mean, that is a terrifying thought, really, isn't it? That was, of course, the no more boom or bust conversation, wasn't it? Ross, great piece anyway. Thank you very much indeed for talking to us. Ross Clark, big column in The Sun today about incoming tax and how much worse it's all going to get before it gets any better at all, which is, I'm afraid, a bit of a depressing message. And let's see what's being said on the Sun Letters page.
Letters from the Sun, the page where you tell Britain what to think. For more, visit thesun.co.uk.